Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the 5 steps you can take to quit drinking alcohol. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rhett and I used to drink a lot. Today I am happy to share that I've been sober for 818 days. I'll be sharing my experience in hopes that it'll help those struggling with alcohol. It's not easy, but you can do it, and you can do it on your own. I was able to do it on my own. No classes, no books. Those things are valuable, but I'm here today to tell you that you can do it on your own. It's possible to quit drinking without the classes, the books, the counselors, anything like that. In today's video, I'll be talking about the 5 things that I did to start my journey in sobriety. The first thing that I did was to eliminate all the triggers. Anything that would tip me into having a beer. That's the people, places, or events. I completely shut myself out from those things. For me, it's about 3 months. I had to cut myself off from hanging out with friends, going to any sort of gathering where there would be alcohol, until I felt comfortable that I could be in those settings without having the urge to drink. Now that was tough, obviously, because you're basically isolating yourself. For me, alcohol was everywhere. Go hang out at a friend's house, just not even at a party, just to go hang out naturally. You're going to want to grab a beer. Your friend's like, hey, you want a beer? Yeah, of course I do. So that was definitely tough. I had these thoughts of like, oh man, what are my friends going to think of me? Like, are they going to think I don't want to hang out with them? And that was definitely not the case, but I just had to do that for me. And they knew that, and I let them know. But it was still tough. You have FOMO of all the fun that's going to be had without you. But those are the things that you have to do if you really want to quit drinking or seriously cut back on the amount of drinking you do. And it's very important in the beginning because you have to build momentum in sobriety. And what I mean by that, the longer you go sober, the easier it gets. Now, it doesn't get easy for a while. So that's why, for me, I had to exclude myself from a lot of activities that I would normally go out to do. Barbecues, go meet up with friends for dinner and drinks. I skipped all of that because being sober was more important than all that. And I think in the back of my mind that over time I'd be able to kind of reintroduce myself into the wild, and but I'd be able to do it with the confidence knowing that I can do these things and enjoy myself, have a good time, and hang out with people, but I don't need alcohol to do that. And like I said, it takes time. You have to build up momentum. In the very early stages, it's easy for your mind to start playing tricks on you, and you'll start to negotiate with yourself. If you're a few days sober, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks even, it's easy to tell yourself, oh, you've done so good, you've been sober for 2 weeks, you can let it rip tonight, and you can start over tomorrow. And I went through this for probably 2 years. It's a tough place to be in mentally because, you want to drink because you're not doing so good in life, and then you also want to drink to celebrate because you are doing good. So for the first 3 months, like I didn't do anything. I rarely hung out. I might have went out, during day activities here and there, but it wasn't for long, So until you're comfortable, or until I was comfortable being in those settings, like I skipped them altogether until I felt like I could actually go out, enjoy myself, and not be tempted to have a drink. The second thing I did was I started to create a routine, something that would replace drinking or the thought of drinking, and that consisted of a morning routine, getting back in to the gym. A lot of things were physical activities, right? And the reason for that being is you can't really do those things when you're hungover. So you want to replace the drinking or, the hangovers with something that you would rather do than drink. For me, getting up early, hitting the cold plunge right away, meditation, I would do some journaling, reading, and doing that every day helped build the momentum of being sober, because I felt great physically, mentally. You start to gain this like confidence back that you had, before you started drinking. You clarity of mind, your thought process is better. Exercise is known to be antidepressant, and the best part is it's free. You could go for a hike, go for a run, do some push-ups or sit-ups at home. You don't need a gym membership to work out. Not only a morning routine, but also an evening routine. More meditation, reading. I'd hit the cold plunge again, sometimes sauna. I completely changed like my self-care routine, and it was intended to feel good, obviously, but it was also to distract my mind in the beginning from drinking. And then over time, the habit, it just becomes normal. Now, I wake up, I set an alarm, but usually I wake up before my alarm. Straight to the cold plunge, come in, do some meditation, 5 to 10 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes. Do some breath work and really get the day going, get the blood flowing. And that really sets my day up for success. So, and the routine could look different for everyone. I would recommend trying different things and seeing what works best for you and your lifestyle, your schedule. But creating a routine that helps you, at least in the beginning, distract yourself from wanting to drink. Improving your mindset, improving your physical and mental health will help do that. The third thing that helped me in my road to sobriety was having a plan. Now, you will get to a point where you're ready to go back out and start doing the normal things that you did when you drank. But this time you won't be drinking. But you'll still have the urges from time to time. For me, I would go, when I started to kind of start hanging out with my friends again, I'd only really go and hang out like during the day. That helped. And I told myself going into it, like, I'm only going to hang out for an hour or two, or until things get slippery. What I mean by that is when the temptations start to creep in, and they do. And right then and there, I told myself going into, that situation that once I got that urge, I would just leave. That was one of the ways I made plans for myself to make sure I was aware of these triggers that would pop up when I'm hanging out with friends or whatever the scenario is. You can also, when those triggers pop up and you don't feel like leaving, I would create like a saying or a affirmation or a mantra. And the one I really liked is I would say to myself when I did have an urge to drink, that feeling good just feels good. That feeling good just feels good. And that falls back on the morning routine and working out and just like waking up every day ready to dominate the day. And that would remind me that having a drink, just one, is not worth it. And it's never just one, at least for me. So having a plan before you go into situations where you know you're going to be tempted is very important. The most important for me was to just, once I got the urge, that was my sign just to leave. Just like, all right, guys, that's it for me. Good seeing you. I'll catch you on the flip side. So definitely have a plan. The fourth thing that really helped me was picking a replacement activity. So for me, a lot of my major drinking was on the weekend, so Thursday to Sunday. I know that's a long weekend, and there was a lot of drinking. So I knew I needed to get back to something that I would rather do than drink. And for me, that was racing motocross. As a kid, it was my first love. I started riding when I was 4 years old, and I think my first race I was 5. And I raced up until probably like 8th grade, and I stopped to start playing football, and I missed it ever since. And I would ride here and there after that, a little bit through high school, kind of in college, but honestly, drinking and partying, that was my main objective. And if you've ever raced motocross, you know that you can't do it hungover. You have to be in, like, if you want to do well, you have to be in really good shape. And so that was a huge thing for me to continue my sobriety, right? I would rather go race motocross Saturday and Sunday than go out and drink for a few hours the night before, be hungover, and lay in bed all day. Now, it doesn't have to be something physical. It helps because you can't do that activity hungover. But it could be anything, and I would recommend you try something that you enjoyed as a kid, that made you happy as a kid, that pure joy of whatever it was. Maybe it was hiking, maybe it was reading or writing, poetry, drawing, whatever. Pick something that replaces drinking, that fills you up with more excitement than drinking. And yeah, motocross has been a big part of my life. My dad and I have been riding together since I was 4, and that really helped solidify, once I got to the 6th month, year mark of being sober, I started riding again, and that was just like, the rush, the adrenaline of riding, just like, it can't even compare to wasting my time drinking or partying. Like, it's not even a question. So that's really important. Pick something that is going to take your mind off of drinking and that you just really enjoy. And then over time, drinking won't even be a thing. The 5th thing that really helped me was creating a support group, accountability group, whatever you want to call it, That can consist of friends and family who support you, who you can talk to about getting sober. In my experience, everyone was super, super supportive. And I knew they would be. Obviously it crossed my mind because all my friends drink and we all had a great time and partied and all that stuff. But I just knew it was time for me that just wasn't for me anymore. And, no one gave me any shit when I told them I'm trying to quit drinking. My wife was super supportive. She's happier now that I don't drink anymore. She can see that I'm happier. My parents, my sister, all my friends, they were so supportive, and I appreciate that because it's easy to kind of go the other route and think, man, what are they gonna think about me? Are they still gonna want to be my friends? Are we still gonna even have anything in common or be able to hang out? And as time went on, I noticed, friends coming and asking me about being sober, not drinking. I have friends that are kind of on the same journey, and we would talk to each other about the struggles of kind of, going through your normal life without drinking. I have a good buddy. We recently went to, not recently, it's been about a year, but we went to a wedding, and it was his first time and my first time going to a wedding sober. And, we just we were texting back and forth, just we got this. It's nice to have people kind of with you or in the same mindset, you know what each other is going through. So creating that support group, that network of people that are on the similar path, or at least that support you. And that's kind of what this channel is about. I want to create a community where like-minded people that are trying to navigate life without alcohol can come, and we can share ideas, ask questions, and there's no guilt or shame or anything like that. With that being said, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really hope you got something out of it. Please like, share, and subscribe. As always, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.